You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go! Hey, man, I think you might have the clearest fucking cell phone video I've ever done.
I told you last night I got a new phone, so like that's why I missed like the new phone. Text messages didn't transfer over, so I was like trying to find your number and stuff. But I kept my old phone, so I didn't trade it in, so I went back out and got it.
Yeah, that shit is crispy.
Yeah,
I just fucking chopped it up with CHARRON, and his shit was like, probably as bad
this
as
the avocado
mine.
phone. This the avocado phone, bro.
Okay, yeah. All right, we should be good here. Let me make sure. Got it good. All right, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, bro. I'm blessed, man.
A.WARD.
Can't complain a bit.
This our first time, man.
Definitely, man. I appreciate you for real.
Now you got PoRICH coming up on December 9th.
PoRICH.
Did I say it funny, or it's just funny because it's him?
It's just all so fresh to me. Like I'm really about to battle PoRICH. All right.
Is he considered a legend in King of the Dot? I mean,
it just depends on what you look at King of the Dot as. If you're looking at the first half of the decade, you would probably consider him close to what would be considered legendary, just from the fact that he was a part of big battles and he did obtain the chain at one point in time.
Right.
I don't believe his skill set has ever been legendary in a sense.
Okay.
But we've evolved so much in battle rap, and there's everybody's writing better, performing better, and doing so much better than it did 8-9 years ago. You know what I mean? And the competition is much higher. So within the context of what he was doing when he was doing it, in Canada, they would probably look at him as like, somewhat legendary.
So what he did was legendary, but he's not a legend.
That's how I feel. Like nobody, like it's like legends in battle rap that are legends regardless of what platform, league, yada yada yada. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like PoRICH is a legend in regards to King of the Dot, the first half of King of the Dot. He literally hasn't had a battle drop on King of the Dot in 5 years.
Right.
So
now, and 5 years in battle rap is a long time,
right?
Because it evolves so much. You know what I mean?
Battle rap's like dog years, bro. Like if you're not like a year is not just a year. Like if you take a year off, you could get lapped real quick.
Yeah, and 5 is just wow. So it's like it's almost. I mean, Jay Mills was going for like 15 years, but it's almost like a Jay Mills effect. It's like, can he adjust to the now?
Right.
And somebody like you, as confident as you are, as good as you are, and then he's getting ready to battle you. How do you feel about that? And was this your choice to battle him, or did they offer him to you?
Yeah, no, definitely not my choice. To your first question, so. It's a little bit different in Jay Mills because he has actually battled a few times in the last 5 years on just small leagues or whatever to try to like get it back, So he's been in front of people. He's had battles on cam in the
last
5 years, a handful, but he's just not been very PoRICH.
Okay.
Yeah, PoRICH. So he's just not been very good. So it's really not a testament to him. It's not like he's getting better and better, and now he's earned this.
Okay.
He's on this card because of what the card is. Decade. We're celebrating 10 years, and he was great for the first few.
Gotcha.
So secondly, no, he was not my choice. Like if you watch the trailer, I had made a trailer. It was sarcastic, but I kind of went through a whole list of people that I wanted to battle, and then PoRICH was like literally like number 100.
I didn't see the trailer yet.
No. I even said like I would battle my mother, like I would battle like Saga, Losos, and he was underneath all of them. So no, he wasn't a part of the 15 names that I gave King of the Dot, to start out with. But at the end of the day, there is something about, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, beat Cortez on King of the Dot, and he was a #1 contender. And so now with PoRICH being a former champ, I can at least say I beat a former champ, put that under my belt, and then continue to use those type of storylines to stake my claim for, getting a shot at the title. So. So I'm trying to look at it in a glass half full mindset, but no,
Yeah, because he's not active right now, it's like,
Right.
does he fit in to the whole climb for the King of the Dot chain? But like you said, that makes sense though. So you can still fit that in there. Yeah.
And there's been some good responses too, especially in the King of the Dot group. And even though, there's a lot of people like, who? Like, we don't know who he is, type stuff. A lot of people have been like, oh, A.WARD's going to smoke this dude. And I firmly believe I'm going to smoke him. Like, I'm not going to sit here and try to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, guys, like, I believe that he's about to die. But there's a lot of people that want to see him come back that are, like, specific to the King of the Dot crowd, and some people that were, following battle rap back then. So it's exciting to them. So as long as people are excited to watch him, then cool,
Now, if you would have turned him down, would they still have you on Decade?
No, I actually told them basically before I even took PoRICH, we had exhausted all of the options, and all of the options were not feasible. I basically was just like, I think I might just set this one out. I got this Carter Deems battle coming up. My bill collector battle still hasn't dropped, so I'll have momentum going into next year, and maybe we can revisit the idea. But with me being kind of like the #1, as far as like King of the Dot's own rising in the ranks, I think it was just very important for them to get me on the card,
Right.
And so we sat down and we talked about the idea of PoRICH, and I'm not the type to well, this is the very famous term these days. I'm not the type to duck, anybody. So when they offered PoRICH, I said, look, if that's what y'all want to do, let's make it happen,
Okay. And like you said, it'd be good for your resume too. Does he have a chance?
No
chance.
I don't think so. No, unless all of a sudden everybody's ears just turn back into wanting to hear forced multis and Christian jokes and just, like not good rapping, then maybe the crowd will enjoy it. But as far as battle rap is concerned, no, he doesn't have a chance.
All right. Well, you're always going to hear the Christian jokes. So
yeah. Hopefully they're good. I'd appreciate it if they're just good.
Who do you think had the best angle, as far as the Christian angle goes that you battled?
Saint Mike. I battled Saint Mike before I hit King of the Dot, and his Christian angle was was impeccable, bro. Like, I sit there and like, part of you wants to give your opponent props while they're battling, and and I didn't want to give him too much props. But the way that he broke it down, he had a bar where he said like, that Bible's got more bodies on it than any dirty pistol in one of my neighborhoods. He said what I'm doing is more like consumer relations. It's a marketing tactic, and he like broke it down like that. He didn't just hit me with the corny Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, crucifixion bars. You know what I mean? Like, he actually took time to like really go into depths of it, and it was just, it was super dope.
Nice. All right, now you mentioned the word ducking, and I talked to CHARRON about were you ever offered to battle CHARRON? Can you give me your end of where did the CHARRON and A.WARD thing happen?
So all summer we've been going at it. Up June, July, we've been going at it back and forth. In King of the Dot's talkback group, which is basically the primary means of the communication back and forth. You'll see on Twitter a lot of times I'm going back and forth with maybe some URL cats or whatever, but all of the trash talk and the different things usually happen in King of the Dots.
And that's not Facebook. Public domain. Nobody only.
No, you can jump in the group. They're going to add you, but it's not. Yeah, it's a group of on Facebook. So
okay.
So all summer we've been going at it. He's been like dissing me. Saying different things back and forth, and the people there's been a lot of discussion around A.WARD CHARRON. So when it came time for Decade, I gave him a list of names with CHARRON on it, and I'm not gonna sit here and play he say, she say, who's lying, but I was told that all of the names, were reached out to and all of the options were exhausted. And, most of the names just said, I'm looking for a bigger name. I'm looking for, this type of battle for this event, maybe some other time type mentality. And so, with CHARRON, I understood. So I was like, if CHARRON comes back and battles Holohan or Disaster, like, I completely understand, but we had this back and forth. So when I find out he's battling Gems, I'm like, yo, I would never say CHARRON was ducking me. We all know CHARRON's on Wild and Out. You've seen 2 of my battles ever, right? So that just tells you itself. I understand the level in which I'm on, right?
Right.
But when he come back and it's all this talk about, even all summer, I need a big name, I want to battle this guy, and then now he's battling Gems, which in the context of King of the Dot, Gems is not as high as name as me. Gems is not as specific to King of the Dot. He's not what the fans wanted, Now, I don't, and it already kind of has overshadowed it. I love Gems to death. I think what Gems brings to the table is awesome. I hope that he goes out there and puts on an amazing performance, and I don't want any kind of negative anything to, to affect his preparation and what the battle will be. But for the sake of the storyline, when he came back, I'm like, wow, this is really him ducking. Like, now I will say you're ducking me because you came back and took somebody who is as equal or lesser value, within the context of what it is. So that's how I felt.
Well, he was saying, like Gems is, I guess you can look at it as more popular, got his own blog and you know what I mean? So that's what he was telling me. Like Gems was the better look. And he said
right.
you're a good rapper. But as far as, I guess entertainment wise, he
right, and that's exactly what you say when you're scared of rapping. You know what I mean? like let's just keep it 100. Like, this is a competition sport, right? Do we not want to be better every time we battle?
Right.
Or is it a popularity contest? And now what CHARRON is doing is saying, I'm on Wild and Out. I just care about what's popular and what looks cool. I don't want to have to actually prepare and come right and get crazy, because he knows that if he accepts me as a battle, he, has to actually spend a lot more time getting down into his pad, working on, his premeditated rebuttals, working on angles, rapping well and stuff like that, So like that's just what it is. He's basically just saying like, hey, we're going to do this for entertainment purposes whenever it's called battle rap, Like, and if he thinks he's more entertaining, cool. But to me, good rapping is entertaining. And that's what we're missing in hip hop, That's what we're missing in battle rap. A lot of the good rappers to us are entertaining, but he just wants to go over there and tell his jokes and have a little bout with Gems. So that's what it is. He's just scared.
Are you better than Gems
at rapping? A rapper? Yes. I'm a better rapper than Gems. I'm a better, lyricist, puncher, schemer. Like, I have all of the technique down better than Gems. Gems is a better brand, like we've already mentioned. He's hilarious. He promos well. He has I wouldn't even say he has a better following. It's hard to tell with Gems because Gems' resume is impeccable. Like, if you go look at Gems' resume, like what ARP has given him and what King of the Dot has given him, it's hard to tell, like, if those are Gems views or if they are Shotgun Suge's views, A.WARD, Serious Jones, Math. Like, his resumes, he's battled goods, he's battled clean paper, like, so, but you watch his blogging and people follow it heavily, So yes, in a long answer, I'm better than Gems when it comes to battle rapping. But that's not what CHARRON wants to do anymore. He doesn't want to battle rap anymore. He wants to tell jokes, make up little 2-4 bar setups, and get out of there with his money.
So at this stage of the game, you feel slighted. If he would have battled, somebody else, like you said, a Holohan or a Disaster, it wouldn't have been a big deal to you. But because he's battling somebody like Gems, is where you feel slighted.
Yeah. And and even the Disaster, Disaster, we all know Disaster's a great rapper, So he'll probably say like, oh, well, why? Oh, I don't want to rap, but I would have took Disaster. Like he would have also got paid handsomely for Disaster, and it would have, you know what I'm saying? Like, so when you bring it down to him having to take what is his sixth or seventh choice 5 weeks before the battle, you know, because I'm guessing that, you know, around the time that I accepted my battle, he probably accepted his, you know, and all of the prep is put in there. He just don't want to rap. He just that, or he thinks that he could play a game of like hide and seek until next year it's a much bigger battle or something, which is possible. So
That sounds better to me because, you know, following Sharon's career, Sharon ain't afraid of nobody. He stood in there with Shotgun Suge. So,
right, so that's the last time Sharon really like had somebody to be scared of. Like,
mm,
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Battling Serious Jones, battling A.WARD on King of the Dot, even battling Tay Rock. Tay Rock is obviously a monster, but he battled him on UW. He didn't battle him on Smack. Like, there's an element of when you're battling me on my platform and I'm hungry and I have a I can't lose this battle mentality, it's different, you know? And so when he battled
so,
Suge, that was the last time he really had that.
so King of the Dot is your platform, not his.
Huh? It's what I mean, he's over here battling people who are there to just kind of put on an okay battle, you know, and go on. Like vets. Like when you got Verb against Sharon, it's two vets coming to rap how they've always rapped and put on, you know, it's not got that grudge match classic type mentality. You know, Sharon and Serious Jones is sitting at 160,000 views.
Mm,
Sharon and Serious Jones is sitting at 160,000 views.
wow.
Me and Cortez is at 130,000 views, right? Why? Because I'm hungry. Because we're actually rapping. And Sharon and Serious Jones go up there and they do what they're normally, you know, B minus C plus work and get out.
Well, you know what? This sounds like this is a grudge match in the making.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, it is what it is, you know. Like, I got respect for what Sharon has done, but and I would have told you up until this point, like it just really. I mean, I've been working on this list and trying to get, you know, this battle for a long time. I had to sit out Mass because somebody wouldn't battle me at Massacre. Like I keep getting this whole people don't want to battle you
who
because
who didn't want to battle you at Mass?
pass and I mean everybody like you said. I think you said in the interview, man, and I think Sharon said this, and I understand. At the end of the day, the whole idea of ducking, like you should be able to battle who you want to battle. You know what I mean?
Once you reach that status in your career, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But if you have somebody like myself who like these are the people that they want me to battle because they want to continue to brand me and they want to continue, you know, offering me to these people, and everybody keeps saying no thanks, no thanks, no thanks. All it is thwarting the growth that I could be having. You know, I battled Real Deal, DNA, Cortez, Geechee. Like it's not like I just came straight out of, you know, battling, you know, Bob down here in, you know, this battle league, and now all of a sudden I'm begging for, you know,
And
Iron
it's not
Solomon.
like you went in there and got killed either. Like
Right.
you're
Yeah.
actually fucking good, man. So
Right.
you know,
So, but yeah, like, you know, so I mean, I set out Massacre,
and
and then I was
that was supposed to be. Did Pass battled on that massacre?
no, he didn't end up
He did.
battling. So,
Okay,
and he just said, and shout out to Pass. I mean, he just said straight up, he's like, it's not a battle I'm interested in. That's what a lot of people keep saying. You're not a battle I'm interested in.
okay,
But at the end of the day, everybody wants to see me battle them. You know what I mean?
right.
So it's just a tough situation, and they always go back to the whole like I don't want to battle a Christian dude or something, and I'm like, bro, I don't even use Christian bars that heavily. Like I say, God is good, you know, and there's themed bars in there, but like I'm not up here because I'm some kind of gimmick, you know, like I'm up here because I'm talented, you know what I mean?
Well, that's what it all seemed like. Even when Saga came and Loso came and you came and Hims came, it seemed like it was a gimmick. But after you guys actually started to grow, I was like, you know, these motherfuckers are really good, man.
Hey,
You
yeah,
know,
man.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you can't be trash and succeed like that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like because it's blood in the water in battle rap. You know, people are gonna know you're only here because you're good at this. You know what I mean? And just because we love the Lord Steph Curry loves the Lord. He got the best jumper in the league. I love the Lord. I could be the best writer. You know what I mean? Like it has nothing to do with that, And so I mean, it is what it is. So
it was the same thing. I remember when T Top first, started blowing up in the URL, and I'd asked him like, how long do you think people are gonna want to hear? I'm cooking this up and I'm selling this on the
mhm,
corner and I'm buying and I'm picking
mhm.
up, and it's still working for him.
Yeah.
He's adjusting, but
Everybody has to have a who they are. You got to stick to who you are. You know
right,
what I mean?
yeah,
And so I think we do that well. And I think Sharon even mentioned with Jims that he was a better character
mhm.
than me. You know what I mean? And then like I mean, he is a character. He goes out there and he puts on his Jims thing, and he's like that on and off cam.
Mhm.
But I get it. Everybody has to have their own thing.
So not to discredit you, but is it okay for these guys to not want to battle you because it's not a good look for them at this particular time? Other than to say that they're ducking, or
Um,
don't want to
I mean,
battle you.
it it is within certain contexts okay to say that. I guess I just had to ask like, what are you here for? Like that's what I would just question like the what are you here for?
Mm,
Like do you really enjoy the competitive nature of battle rap and saying that I'm the best, or have you basically said like, okay, I'm a vet. I've been doing this long enough. Now I don't have to ever battle anybody who's hungry, or who wants to, challenge me. You know what I
I
mean?
like that. Yeah, yeah, right, 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 right.
So, so that's my mentality, and
Like Arsenal battling New Jersey twerk.
exactly,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
exactly, and so it's just a very fine line. They're very much entitled to say, "I'm cool. I don't want to battle you."
Right.
Um, I just think it goes to showing that this level of vets, like they're still getting paid and they're still getting paid handsomely and they're filling up cards and it's almost like they don't want to pass the torch. You know what I mean? Like they don't, because if they pass the torch and all of a sudden they get smoked, then all of a sudden I'm, maybe making a little bit more money and maybe getting some bigger battles and type stuff.
Right, right. Hmm, hmm. So I guess you'd have to come up with a game plan of either how I'm gonna get these guys out here or how I'm gonna just keep solidifying myself until that time comes.
I guess, man, because at the end of the day, what's going to happen is they're going to only take me for a couple reasons. One, the league is going to pay them extra because they'll take me.
Right.
Have to overpay them to take me. Um,
That's an insult to you. Well, go ahead.
right, or two, it's just going to be so overwhelmingly undeniable from fans, saying it has to happen that they're starting to look in a negative light to certain parts of their fan base because they won't take the battle.
I want to see it now.
Yeah,
I didn't think about it, but I do want to see it now. And I'm thinking about Sharon and I'm thinking about you. I'm like, that'd be a dope ass battle.
yeah.
Let's call it for what it is.
He's known for battling the smack rappers, the gun bar rappers, and everything. And that's what kind of brought it to light is. Like, even in the summer, he said, I'm battling somebody on KOTD's roster. I'm not battling a smack rapper. I want to battle somebody on the roster. Who do y'all want me to battle? And so here I am, Caucasian, don't use gun bars, rebuttal just as good as Sharon, like I mean, and I'm the one that's being mentioned. And so that's why I just kind of took it as, okay, he was scared within the context of how many weeks we got to prepare, and he just ain't ready right now. So
And you feel the same way with Pass, that Pass don't really want to battle you, and is
no,
it
I mean, me and Pass never had any kind of backstory.
okay?
So no, Pass just, I mean, like I said, they're entitled to not want to battle me. Thesaurus didn't want to battle me. He was an
Mhm.
option too. He didn't want to battle me. These guys they're entitled to that or whatever. But like when you literally are creating a grudge match and you're going back and forth and you got fans talking about it and there's stuff in groups of you saying you're gonna take this, that, and the third, and then you turn around and accept this match, you know, and then he get on here and talk about I was never offered A.WARD and A.WARD was already offered PoRICH, and like all that stuff's just for the cameras, bro. That stuff ain't true, man. Like,
well, maybe they didn't actually run it by him. You know, I don't know. You never know.
yeah.
You know, so
I mean, maybe not. You know, I knew he was battling gyms before I even took PoRICH, so I know that much.
Okay, so yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
who knows?
Yeah. So but yeah, you know, but it's neither here nor there. So, like I said, I'm battling PoRICH, he's battling gyms. It's gonna be two hopefully really good battles. Well, I mean, I mean, I'm gonna smoke PoRICH, but hopefully gyms and CHARRON is, you know, a good battle and it works out good for the event. So
I'm sure it definitely will be entertaining. Hopefully not, you know, 50% funny and 50% bars. I'd like to see a 80-20. You know what I mean? Because both of those guys are funny, but you know, lyrically we're going to see too. So
I think Jims is going to be on his A game.
Sure.
I really do. And he usually performs well on King of the Dot. So
yeah, him versus DNA was crazy.
Yeah, and then like he's not going to be in that goods bag. So
right, I hope not, because I keep reiterating those were the worst. That was the worst goods and the worst gyms I've ever seen. Don't want to see that again.
The event is also, and that's another thing. The event is a small room event. You know, it's the same event I battled Cortez, so there's no stage. Like, and that's another thing is like you got to rap. You know, like at those events you got to rap.
That's right.
You know, and I think CHARRON wants to see me on a stage. So
we'll see. I'm sure you'll probably have some CHARRON bars on the 9th.
I don't know. I don't know if he deserves them, but yeah, I might do one or two.
15 minutes of fame. You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio. Let's go.